Today we'll talk about a series that many imos when we were children and that marked our childhood. So put it on Let's Start. Revelation of Master of the Universe. Is it really bad? On July 23, 2021, Master of the Universe Revelation finally came to light, the series that promised to continue the plot of the old series of the 80s and at the same time expand this universe star by filmation for many this continuation of MOOTU was a complete insult as it highlighted the fact that He-Man did not appear very often on this series and that Tela went from being a supermodel of the 80s to supporting a lesbian hairstyle and having muscles. so, it is for the red scene of the charter of Tela. Internet had sulk of the anger. Without doubt, nostalgia is a very hard drug and a tremendous double-edged sword, in which many want to see what they saw as a children but without great change, and every time a franchise of the Holy Mother is reinvented, nothing of nostalgic guys. We go out and chortled in time to say like parrots that who dare you change this franchise? In fact, if we take a look at some chapter of the Filmation series today, we will discover that is not good. In fact, it sucks. The characters are too simple, the animation is mediocre for the time, and the plots are ridiculous. Even for your work, but none of that mattered when we were little. The character, the scenes, vehicles, and the barely outlined mythology were enough to activate our creativity and make us create our own story with the action figures that the series provided without any shame. In this review, I will give you my views and show the pros and cons of this reboot and sequel adaptation of the He-Man. Okay, we start with the pros. An animation section that is incredibly superior to that of many current animated series. Although it fails and lags at times, the level of detail, shading, and design of the characters, backgrounds, like effects, another is one of the best looking alive and good. Credible to the limit, Powerhouse Animation Studios, the breakthrough animation house of recent years, has once again shown with spectacular animation. By comparison, Amazon's Invisible animation is outdated and flagged next to it on the plot side. It is appreciated that He-Man leaves the screen for a while, as many understand that He-Man is the mainstay of the franchise, but to be honest, no character except the protagonist really shined. Everything in time they were, and and are still one-trick clones. Here at least they have their own script moments and they stand out in more decent ways than on the Filmation show and in 200X. Tella this character was immediately hated for his redesign and because he gained weight in the plot in the series. Those who criticize the series forget that Tella was already very over the top and predestined for a great future as Neo from the Matrix. He has only it was necessary to give some with the plot at some point in it. Apart from this, it does not seem that it will be something permanent since this called teacher of the universe. And now the most relevant point, the cons. The personalities of various villains and protagonists were altered based on another incarnation of the same characters and not the characters from the old series, although this helped bring to life several Useless secondary characters. Instead, this made other obnoxious and annoying Exandra. It is not a true sequel to the animated series of the 80s. Uh, this in itself is not bad, since the many years of existence have helped this franchise to enter new fields. But to affirm that this is a sequel to the series Filmation is keeping everything you have established by the franchise for decades is a big lie. Lie. The dubbing of this series is a tremendous bump. By far the worst of this series it was made here in Colombia, where the dubbing industry is more than dead and has the dubbing where many details are skipping in English, which is a pity that Sarah Michael Gellar or Mary Hamill have terrible voice in Latin Spanish. And now I will give you my conclusion. This series, although it has very questionable decision things that come out of the know and several mistakes, is not about reinterpretation of characters destined for memes and the rejection of many relation complies with giving you another approach to this forgotten this franchise, even if it is to talk about the misrepresentations he committed about the excessive prominence of Tela. I do not mention anything or I care since it is seen that I will not be something fixed because at the end of the day it will be his again as in this trailer where they revive it. For my part, an absolute man with this series, which will surely go back and at the end of the day will give something to the franchise as well as that horrendous He-Man movie from Canon Films, which neither Latin dubbing should have or that strange series of He-Man where He-Man doesn't even look like He-Man. And that is the beauty of his franchise. It takes advantage of the negative of each product and transforms it into something very important for itself. Hopefully, this will happen with Revelation and it will not be a coitus interruptus. Well, guys, that's all for today. See you in another video. Bye.